Hello everybody, welcome to Project Wingman, a kind of a spiritual indie game in the same vein as Ace Combat. I had recently seen a video showcasing the gameplay from one of the missions, and, well, as a big Ace Combat fan, I figured I'd give it a go. And it's actually pretty cheap. I'll have a link to the game in the description down below, where you can go buy it on Steam. It is only available on Steam, sadly, but pretty good sound effects, too, from what I can tell. Anyway, onwards. We're going to do the campaign. Settings. Nope, we're all good there. Nope. This game does use basically what is the default Ace Combat controls. The only change I made is I changed the throttle and yaw buttons. So, new campaign. We're going to go with normal. So, because normal is normal. And I'm a normal person. User, K9er. Generations ago, a global cataclysmic event scorched the world whole. Newly exposed and volatile material combined with an earth-shattering tectonic collapse, dismantling civilization whole. The world order was destroyed. History as we know it changed forever. But from the ashes, a new era began. Hundreds of years have passed. Humanity is now in the time known as After Calamity. (432) January 9th, After Calamity. Okay, so 400 years after Calamity. Sicario Corp, Hitman Team, number 1, Monarch. Now I've seen in the one video of Ace Combat Fan, which I'll be posting a video or a link to his channel down below.
Our contract with this backwater place is just about to come to an end. And, well, thank God. I don't mind a tropical vacation every once in a while, but it's not very glamorous, considering we're here to work. Anyway, one last thing before the defense minister releases our contract, and we move on to bigger and better. Hitman Team, you haven't gotten all that much airtime this deployment, so you're taking point with this operation.
We have confirmed the location of the Burlock Privateer headquarters off the coast on the southwestern edge of the Jesta Island chain. They're a mercenary group like us who, unfortunately, have turned to outright piracy. According to surveillance data, we have determined that they are the culprit of the recent high-profile hijacking of the Federation-registered cargo ship May Lynx. The May Lynx is supposedly carrying volatile cargo belonging to the Federation's Department of Global Energy and Sustainability Office. Nothing specific from the Federation contact about the cargo. However, our orders are to retrieve it if possible, or to neutralize it if we can't. Attempts to negotiate for it have turned up with nothing, so we're going in. Hitman Team, you are to approach the island from the south along with support and establish control over the area. Your objective is to eliminate any surrounding anti-air and resistance on the island. After that, secure an LZ for our operator group Ronin to ascertain the cargo. Once Ronin lands, maintain air superiority until the next stage of the operation is determined. Be aware that the Burlocks have other Merc pilots on tap, so enemy reinforcements could be a factor.
Normally, we'd stay out of contact with any Federation-adjacent taskings. But this is the last thing we need to do for a current contract, so I'll let it slide. 2 birds with 1 stone. Easy enough, right?
Indeed.
Now get to work. Dismissed.
Okay. Okay, so before we do anything, I'm going to do a quick check just to make sure I am recording. And yes, I am. So, alright. Before we do anything, I'm going to read through some of these files. Factions. Nothing. Apparently we don't unlock any. We have to unlock stuff first. Okay, well, start mission, I guess. Here we go. Now, one thing I did learn, apparently, this game actually knows the fact that you have a second pilot in your plane. So planes that have... shit. I don't... God... Come here, headphones. Oh, they don't freaking break my headphones now. Planes that have a second pilot actually get extra dialogue. Can't get the 21. Huh, okay. I do like the F4 Phantom. Hardpoint. Do we need bombs? Yeah, we'll take bombs. Okay. So we get the chain gun, which... Okay, so we have the standard missiles, and then we also get this. Okay. Alright, I guess we'll go ahead and launch with the F4 Phantom. And bombs. Here we go. But yeah. So whenever I do get the chance, I will try to pilot planes that have the second co-pilot in the back. This is one of them.
Ever-lovely airborne warning and control systems aircraft Galaxy. Hitman team, get on the clock.
Hitman 3, comic punching in.
Hitman 2, copy you clear, Galaxy. You got a lot of smooths? Just about, Diplomat. Hitman 1, take your flight on this vector until you start to see targets on the IFF. You are free to engage.
Okay.
Hey, Monarch. How about we watch this mission? I wouldn't mind staying a few more days out here.
I have you on record saying that, Prez.
Don't be a snitch again, Galaxy. Hitman 1, Monarch and Prez, ready to roll.
All cog, we're engaged. Rack 'em up and
Alright.
knock 'em down.
This game looks pretty damn good, honestly.
Attackers inbound. How the hell did we piss off? This is really action from Galaxy Negotiation. Hitman 1 is in zone.
We've got a lock.
Let's let it move.
There we go.
Now,
The controls are a bit on the heavy side, but that may just be because I'm piloting a trainer. So, yeah, that could just be because I'm piloting a trainer. Explosions are visually violent, as they should be.
ordnance deployed.
Okay. I'm used to pushing a button to switch between weapons.
Monarch's gone off radar.
Shit. Okay. I died. I crashed right into the boat. Oh, let's try that again. Yeah. Okay, let's not immediately crash and burn and die.
This is the ever-lovely airborne warning and control systems aircraft.
I'd like... This is very much a lot like Ace Combat Zero, where you play as a mercenary squadron in that game as well.
Copy you clear, Galaxy. You gotta let us loose. Just about, diplomat. Wingman 1, take your flight on this vector till you start to see targets on the IFF. You are free to engage. Lead the way, Mark.
Only 8 bombs. I'll have to get used to using the D-pad to switch weapons.
I wouldn't mind staying a few more days out here.
I have you on record saying that, Prez.
Don't be a snitch again, Galaxy.
Right on
If
target.
you want, one I can
There we go. I like that this one actually has the gun pod that's mounted under the nose, because that's actually relevant. So the actual aiming point is slightly off center, or slightly below where you're actually aiming with this plane. In real life, anyway. I don't know if that's... You know... There are no checkpoints in Project Wing. Good to know, at least it's being upfront about it. So it's very much like the PS2 Ace Combat games. There is no checkpoint. If you die, you die. That's just life. There we go.
Pickle.
Oh! Good to know, you can blow yourself up with your own bombs. Yeah, I'm not very good at the guns yet. Visually, this game is very pretty looking.
Radar lock. Take him down. Enemy penetrating the count line. Target on the nose. My plane's damaged.
Very nice. I missed. Okay. Note to self, don't use bombs. Turn.
Monarch ready to fire. Ground asset knocked out.
Oh. Oh, thanks guys.
Positive tone. We've got inbound. Enemy reinforcements coming down from due north. Flashing mercenary IFFs. Green light to engage. Defenses are clear. Road it. Move in. Copy all. Drop the rope and get it out real quick. Looks like everyone's scattering.
So, your allies will actually kill targets in this game. Good to know. Ooh, got him with the gun! I like this game already. This is very fun. He's the only one left, so...
Hitman 1 locked on.
Oh, I got him with the gun. Alright, well done. Fantastic explosions.
Ronan gives the all clear.
This wasn't mission of Flight Galaxy. I think we're flying on my mark.
Ronan to Galaxy, we got eyes on target. Looks like some sort of chromium containment chamber. Reading says it's unstable. That bodes well. Copy, Ronan. How much is present? Enough to keep an airship bound for the Corridor sensors. It's not anything to carry out here. Right, one moment. Putting the contact on the line. Clean the scene. Everything you've witnessed is confidential by Federation decree. Destroy it. Copy that. Exfiltrate. You heard that, Monarch? Highlighting a new target on your IFF. Blow it when they're out. You Galaxy. You clear, Hitman?
I'm gonna blow it up with a bomb. I want to see this explosion.
Pickle, pickle. Oh shit.
What the hell? I feel good in my teeth. Oh, damn, Monarch.
That's like a fucking nuclear explosion. Holy shit.
Think the water's still alright? We've still got sunshine by the time we
Well,
RTB.
that completely wrecked that bay. That's no longer going to be usable by anyone.
Oh yeah, me, you, and Flight Lead here just running a little beach ball in a gentrified resort built from our blood money. Sound good, Monarch? Hold that thought. We've got inbound from due north. Same thing as before. Vitals approaching the flight to your direct south. Flash item or we will flag you as hostiles. Easy, easy. Flashing IFF. Just the help, and by the looks of it, right to the Burlock posse. You hired by those mercs in the fort, bud? Past tense now, I guess. We got no beef with you. It's your business. I'm sure you guys understand.
So I like what this guy's saying, but I like the naming.
Call sign Kaiser.
The business, the actual voice acting is kind of meh.
We do understand your situation. Sorry about losing your revenue stream, gentlemen. But you know how this business goes. Don't sweat it. We're about to break off and go west anyway, towards Cascadia.
Cascadia.
Yeah, haven't you heard? Civil war against the Federation. Some rogue Cascadian ambassador has been isle-popping, drumming up contracts and information all day. Yeah, rebels need bugs, I need a job. Master Goose 1, out. You see, that's a team name that sounds fun to have. Right, boss? Boss? Civil war in Cascadia? Interesting.
Very interesting. I'm really liking this, honestly. This is really fun.
The money came through from this contract, and our opportunities in this region have just about dried up. If no one objects, and your contract with Sicario is still in effect, pack your bags. I looked a little into the Cascadian situation, and I believe we'll make a little something of ourselves there.
Okay. I quite like this. This is actually really fun. Allies are actually killing things, which is good. Another day. Well. Oh, I kind of wanted to... Okay. Well, we're going to do this
Sicario
mission,
is moving west,
and then I'll call the episode
Information
good.
coming out of country
So.
has been spotty, but, well, let's just say there's a demand for people of our pedigree.
Okay.
The Federation's been eyeing a takeover of Cascadia's resources for years, as far as I remember. And it seems the Cascadians weren't going to take it lying down, based on what info's been leaked out. For those of you who don't know, Cascadia is a nation along North America's western seaboard, one of the largest on Earth, and one of the most prosperous due to to its abundant natural resources and geothermal energy deposits. I've never been, but I hear it's beautiful. A country with limitless energy at its fingertips. I know some of us who were born out here in the periphery can't even imagine it, but I'm sure this hits closer to home for some of you. Moving along. There's a communications blackout both in and out of the country. And as far as the international news goes, nothing is going on except a few riots. Based on the mercenary networks, however, that is a complete lie. A full-blown conflict is proceeding. We've reached out and were given a rendezvous by a Cascadian group called the Independence Force, the main anti-Federation group recognized by the national government. I presume the Federation has the borders on lockdown to stop people like us from coming in, so stay on our toes. If we get found out by a patrol, we'll send one of our flights off to take care of them.
Sicario is moving northwest towards a rendezvous point set by Cascadia's Independence Force. We don't expect any heavy resistance given our route of ingress. However, each of our fighter groups will be pulling shifts to preserve fuel and ammo. Hitman team, you will be responsible for the last leg of the journey, which will take us over into Cascadia proper. Be prepared to intercept border patrols.
I know some of you might not be too enthused to be fighting the Federation, so I invite you to leave with what you have of your contract. You'd only slow us down.
Okay. Very, very Ace Combat Zero-y, with honestly a bit of Ace Combat 5 in there as well. Honestly, this is just... I'm really amazed that this game came out at all, because I've been needing a new game to play since Halo Infinite got delayed. Okay. Any new files worth perusing? Creole Republic, a periphery nation which sustains itself as a port of call in the Atlantic, has recently seen fit to pursue association status with the Federation, hoping that their protection would stymie the ever-present pirate and privateer threat which exists off its coasts. If it vassalizes, the Creole Republic would be the Federation's first Atlantic state. Nations of their size make up the majority of world governments. Okay, so the Federation is less of a superpower and more of like a... what I'm getting at is it's more of like an EU kind of situation, but I might be wrong. Burlock Privateers. The Burlock Privateers were a pay-to-play privateer group which made money by extracting taxes out of passing ships at the threat of kidnapping and piracy. Stationed at a now abandoned offshore resort, the Burlocks' sustained notoriety was to be their downfall. Like many criminal groups, facing off against militant mercenaries like Sicario, groups like them are not unfamiliar in this world, if not common along the periphery. Sicario, which is our group, a mid-sized mercenary unit with a skew towards aerial operations, Sicario is comprised of 3 combat jet wings with supporting ground forces, electronic warfare, and logistical elements. Compared to most units of its size, turnover is very low, hinting towards Sicario's veterancy compared to their peers. Operating away from the influence of political superpowers... I guess I'm wrong, actually. There apparently are superpowers. Where was I? Operating away from the influence of political superpowers in the periphery, Sicario is constantly searching for an undefinable big break, cutting a swath through defense jobs and strategic strikes for cash. It is unknown who or how Sicario was made. A little bit of a wording problem there. However, Kaiser's ownership of Sicario comes after several prior disastrous contracts in years past. Okay, and then just mercenaries, which... Guns for hire, fighters without a cause, blah, blah, blah. We know what mercenaries are. World entries. May Links incident. The Federation Department of Global Energy and Sustainable Office report that the May Links was lost with all hands following the mishandling of cargo by private contractors. Images attached of detonation area. After Calamity Era 1. After the long cold and the re-establishment of formal international communications, the surviving nations of the world organized and currently maintain a base 0 year for the continuing development of the human race. In this period, named After Calamity, establish its 0 year after determinations that mankind has resumed its developmental path unaffected by the calamity. The average citizen of this world lives a comfortable, safe life ranging from metropolitan to rural, typically with little discomfort originating from the natural world. Okay, so things have mostly stabilized. Cordium. A crystallized combination of dielectric materials, native metals, and still yet to be understood anomalous compositions churned up in the crucible that is the deep earth mantle. Cordium was one of the most crucial energy resources in the after-calamity era. Cordium was properly studied only when humanity returned to its pre-calamity development level. Stories during the immediate post-apocalypse filled with stories. That's a bit of a misnomer there. Should have just remove stories and just during the immediate post-apocalypse. Tales during the immediate post-apocalypse are filled with stories of dangerously reactive rocks and formations, single-handedly powering abandoned facilities in proximity that survived the immediate disasters, as if haunted by powers beyond understanding. Oh, okay. Jesta Island chain. Situated off the coast in the Creole Republic, this island chain's prosperous economic developments through the decades have been usurped by pirates recently. Okay. Pilot entries. Ours is blank. Hitman 2, Diplomat. Son to a Cascadian political dynasty, Diplomat has elevated himself from underperforming middle child to well-rounded pilot. After eloping from the Federation Air Academy and striking it out on his own in the periphery, having survived long enough in Sicario to be Hitman's number 2, his homebrew flat style and generally amiable personality has served him well in the cutthroat world of mercenary piloting. Despite his record, however, it is known that Diplomat doesn't do well when he's in over his head. His call sign is a jab at his somewhat privileged upbringing, which he vehemently denies any association to currently. Okay. Comic. Hitman 3. Born into a family of immigrant workers from a lesser-developed North American state, after moving into Cascadia's Pacific Northwest, the woman that would become Hitman 3 aspired to greatness beyond her rural lifestyle. Scoring top marks in the Federation Air Academy, she was fast-tracked to Squadron Commander in Cascadia's National Guard. Unfortunately, she was removed from her command after an operation gone wrong, disappearing into the periphery disgrace. She now is in the service of Sicario and Hitman team. Her call sign is a vestige of a former personality, one that was allegedly a little more funny. Kaiser, Assassin 1. Little is known outright about Kaiser. However, it is known that he used to be part of a military of a now failed nation-state, and that Sicario pre-existed his own entry into the unit. What is known about Kaiser is that his form of charisma is derived from the very essence as a self-proclaimed war hero to be. Many in Sicario often consider his leadership They definitely need an editor to go through and change some of this text. It is... But it just released, so I'll give it some slack. A self-proclaimed... Many in Sicario often consider his leadership of Sicario as a way of him searching for glory. Despite this fanciful claim, Sicario has operated effectively and cleanly, avoiding the ire of the Federation while taking on jobs away from the world's superpowers. Never one to back down from a show he entertains. Okay. Galaxy. A rarity amongst even smaller national military... By the way, this is going to be the rest of the episode. I guess I should go ahead and tell anyone who's watching now. If you don't want to listen to me continue reading, this is the rest of the episode. So, a rarity amongst even smaller national militaries, AWACS Galaxy is the call sign for Sicario's main operator. Outspoken, loud, proud, and a foil to Kaiser's bombastic attitude or something like that. Galaxy was himself a former radio engineer and radio DJ. However, several bad decisions and a binding contract has attached his fate to Kaiser now. Unfortunately, Kaiser has realized that Galaxy stuck with him as opposed to the other way around, and the operator has found himself Sicario's de facto second-in-command. Existing outside of the usual prior military training that AWACS operators usually come from, he is initially grading for former service pilots, but his strategy, his straight to the point, if not colorful updates keep Sicario well ahead of the enemy. Okay. Hitman 1. Okay, this is the co-pilot, President. Good to know. The other Hitman 1 Monarch's occasional co-pilot's claim to fame is that she is able to keep up with Monarch. Responsible for taking shots that Monarch calls while in aircraft that necessitate two pilots, she is, if anything, just the slightest more talkative than Monarch, and is a welcome addition amongst Hitman 2 and 3. Okay. Master Goose Squadron. An independent freelance mercenary squadron. Records from the public source denote a respectable combat record, if not plain compared to Sicario. Ronin. Special Operations Group Ronin is a subsection of Sicario's ground force. Should be forces. Special Forces soldiers that act in concert with Sicario's assets. Their arrival with Sicario in the Cascadian conflict has provided the Independence Force with a search and rescue unit meant to relieve embattled divisions behind enemy lines. They swear themselves to Rayzar for reasons unelaborated by them. Probably previous reasons. One last entry. Sicario's Hitman team, Sicario's Point Squadron. They are, in their current iteration, a three-man flight. No nonsense, results getting and able to duke it out with even the most seasoned fighters. Their existence in the mercenary world is considered a fluke. Their relative closeness when compared to the rest of their mercenary compatriots in Sicario is also of note. Some speculate this is from their shared experience as Sicario's only Cascadians. Further speculate that Hitman is searching for something in their mercenary travels. Hitman declines to comment on any of these claims. Okay. Alright. I'm actually really liking this. This is a great way to expand on the world when you're not in a campaign. I do wish there was I think the text definitely needs some work. Some of the sentence structure is odd, and it can be kind of hard to tell with the font whether something's a comma or a period, so sentences kind of flow together sometimes. That, and I'm terrible at actually talking and reading what I'm talking about at the same time. Or speaking what I'm reading at the same time. Oh, I got a drink for my throat. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. I'm surprised there's no music playing right now. They should fix that. They need to have music playing for the menus. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. If you want to watch more of my videos, please consider subscribing. And I shall see you in the next video. Take care.